Yo, what's up, y'all? How you doing? Great night tonight. Appreciate the hell out of each and every one of you. I'm Mikey, and we've got an episode of The Strange Road, and we're bringing some strange happenings to you tonight. Super stoked about Frogman Fest. Just wrapped up over the weekend, and we had a blast. We had a blast hanging out with all you guys. It was such a great time. Got to meet so many new people. Got to hang out with some speakers. Anthony and all the fellas from the Frogman movie were back. The great crew. Those guys have an incredible thing going on. And Frogman Returns is getting ready to be released anytime. So you guys rule. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming out that night, that last weekend. It was fantastic. I want to make sure you guys can all hear me. I'm riding solo tonight. I'm Mikey, the loner in Master Control, baby. And I'm actually streaming on Instagram as well. Instagram, everybody, come over. YouTube, link in bio. Let's roll. We're here doing a little Frogman recap. I've got some pretty awesome stuff as well to cover. A couple updates. We've got an article from our friend Tobias Wayland from Singular Fortean, and got to hang out with Tobias this weekend. Fantastic. Got to catch up with him and a bunch of other people as well. Great time. But let's go ahead and we're going to go. Whoop, that was definitely not the right thing to hit. Here we go. This is what I meant to hit. There we go, guys. We're trying over here. We're trying over here. Big shout out to Heather Lamb. Heather, I know you're probably either going to watch this or listen to it. I'm not sure if you're in the chat, but everybody, hey, there I see Ben. Ben came over from Instagram over into YouTube. What's up? Born Not to Run, the best moderator. I may need to have Born Not to Run do some links for me tonight. I'm riding solo here in Master Control. Wanted to shout out some folks here real quickly. Heather Lamb, amazing artwork, unbelievable art, beautified our entire booth all weekend at Frogman Fest. So many people came up to see her art, pulled so many folks in, and to check out us, to check out the show. So we met an incredible amount of people, such good people, and I went the wrong way there. And then we also had Mopar Phil, if you're in the chat, brother, shouting you out. We got to meet Mopar Phil and his wife. And me, Born Not to Run, we're so stoked that this happened. And, it's just one of those things when you meet somebody in person, they do not disappoint. We had a great conversation, got to hang out. I think Mopar Phil had a blast. Julie, I see you in the chat. Annie, I see you in the chat. Heather, all you guys all rule. And we're going to keep rolling through here. Just some feeds. We had the Frogman Parade. I don't know, some of you guys on Instagram may have already seen this and checked this out. But we're just doing a little recap. There's Jeff. That's Jeff, the founder of Frogman Festival, guys. Couldn't be a better dude to run that event. I mean, he puts on such a great event. Shout out to Shield Our Jaguar on Instagram. This is an unbelievable thing that happened, guys. Last year, Papa Stoner, Neil, if you're in the chat, big shout out to you. We had the cane, the hiking staff that you see here with this gentleman, Shield Our Jaguar's father. He purchased this from us last year at Frogman Festival, and Papa Stoner carved it for us, and we threw it up at our booth, and this gentleman bought it for his father. This year, we're at the booth hanging out, and sure enough, he walks right by with the Frogman Staff of Destiny. Could not believe it, and it was just unbelievable. So we got to meet him and to hang out again with Shield Our Jaguar. Unbelievable time, great conversations, and he's got his Bigfoot staff there as well. Couldn't have been more awesome. Like I said, Frogman movie, Anthony Cousins, all those guys over there, the whole crew, you guys are awesome. Got to spend a lot of time with them, and sneak peek, I got to see the trailer for Frogman Returns, guys, the little teaser. We ended up running the AV for the Frogman movie again this year. and we got to see a little teaser of Frogman Returns. There's the poster. Had a little swappage with Anthony from the Frogman movie. He hooked him up with the T-shirt, and I got this brand new design from Easton Hawk. What's up, brother? Shout out to you as well. Unbelievable artwork. We had a little altar, if you will, put together here, and don't want to do that. Trying to flip through. There we go. There's a little bit of a close-up. Shout out to Holly Who Art. She was a sponsor of the event. Got that little Frogman candle. There's another one of Heather's pieces of art with the little miniature Frogman painting, which unbelievable colors. It's like my favorite. I'm probably going to end up purchasing most of the pieces that Heather had on display. And another Easton Hawk illustration did the Frogman flyer again this year. And also shout out to Ryan. You guys see that Be Good ET refrigerator magnet? I got that from Ryan. He was one of the production designers and makeup artists for Frogman movie. Hell of a guy. Great stuff. There's a little bit of a shot, and you guys can see a little bit of a close-up of Holly Who's design of that Frogman candle, which is just so happens to be burning right here. Let me cut back to that. There you go. There's the Frogman candle. It's the Frogman prayer candle is what I'm calling it. Shout out to Holly. Shout out to Heather. Great stuff, guys. I wish I was that good at art. I can make videos, but I mean, come on. That's incredible. That's just a skill that I don't have. We got Sess in the city. What's happening? Who else is in here? All one same. You guys rule. Everybody can hear me? Everybody can hear me? Is that right? I got Mr. Sam here. And hey, all you guys in Instagram, come over to the YouTube live stream. Links in the bio. Let's go. Come on over. I'm trying something new here. I've got my little DJI Osmo 6 on my phone streaming to Instagram. You guys can't see it right now, but it's right underneath this camera. Having a little fun tonight. I'm going solo in master control. And let's keep going here. There's a little bit of a wide shot. And by the way, if you guys see this this way, that UFO painting of Heather's, Anthony Cousins walked away with that baby after the weekend was over. He had to have it. He hit me up. He's like, I said, hey, Heather's coming to grab her paintings. You should talk to her and, see what you guys can come together, and you can walk out of here today with that awesome UFO painting. The colors are incredible. It's not super tight, but fantastic art, Heather. Killer job. Wrong way again. Boom, boom. And yeah, that's just some sweet shots I got with the Fuji over the weekend. But wanted to go over some shout outs to the speakers this weekend. The speakers were fantastic. I didn't get to pop in there a whole lot, but I did catch pieces of a few of the speakers. Shout out to Anthony Miller and Butina Merriam, and their podcast is fantastic. And let me just actually pull that up real quick. And we've got the Obliterate the Construct podcast. If you guys haven't heard of these guys, of this show, you should definitely go check them out. They got a Patreon, but Butina and Anthony are the hosts of that show. We got to hang out with them. I did get a chance to connect and actually talk to them at the booth for quite a while on Sunday. So shout out to them. Amazing time. Of course, James A. Willis, Weird Willis, our buddy Weird Willis from Strange and Spooky World, the author of Weird Ohio, crushed it once again. Gave a great presentation and kind of weaved a whole bunch of cool stories from Ohio with the Loveland Frogman presentation that he's given in the past. A really dope, fresh presentation this year from Willis. Shout out to that guy. Amazing stuff. We had Strange Talk with Alex And we had Ohio Night Stalkers were there, Mike Miller, and shout out to Jack Dreyer. Jack, awesome conversation with him as well over the weekend. Didn't get to pop into his presentation for very long, but from what I heard, it was awesome. Great job. We actually had Jeff Wamsley. Jeff is the founder of the Mothman Festival and Museum. Super interesting guy. Got a chance to check out his. And of course, our favorite, it's Asher's, Ashley Hilt. Ashley is a podcaster. She was the MC this weekend again for the third year in a row. Researcher, podcaster, incredible talent. Go check her out. Tobias Wayland, again, episode, I don't even know, 35, 40-ish maybe? We had Tobias on. Tobias was featured on Unsolved Mysteries, the Lake Huron Mothman episode last season. I think they're having him back for a couple things. He's being featured in another show coming up. Got a chance to hang out with Tobias. It was fun introducing Anthony from the Frogman movie to Tobias and Ashley and Mr. E and Jay Clone from Cryptids of the Corn and Weird Willis as he's kind of diving into some research for Frogman Returns. So I said, hey, there's a whole lot of guys that know a heck of a lot more about cryptids in Ohio than I do. These are the people we interview. So hope you guys connect. Have a good time with that. Erica Fett, cosplay actress and podcaster, heard she crushed it. Sarah Cooper, she's the founder of the Snallygaster Museum. If you guys have been in that area or in that area, you got to go check that museum out. I heard it's fantastic. I heard it's great. And then we also had Dr. Jeb Card. He's an anthropologist professor at Miami University. And Emilio Soto, PhD. This is a new card game called Cryptid Camp, and they were one of the sponsors. And it blends neuroscience with the paranormal, with sort of consciousness, and all kinds of amazing, all kinds of things for kids to wrap their head around and learn through this card game. Really cool dude. Great stuff. And yeah, we're going to hop into it, guys. We've got some things to cover. Frogman, like I said, was incredible. If there's anybody out there that I missed, and a shout out, Mr. E and Jay. Oh, you know what? Me, Born Not to Run, Cryptids of the Corn fellas, and Mark Ripper. Shout out to Mark. We went to the Monkey Bar and hung out, and had a little drinky drink on Friday. Great time. Shout out to all you guys, and always the best hanging out with them. So we're gonna hop into it, y'all, and let's dive into it. One thing that I learned this weekend, learned a whole lot. Like I said, talked to tons of people, and as I was talking with Mr. E, Jay Clone, and Anthony Cousins from the Frogman movie, Mr. E told me about sea serpents in the Ohio River and how these tugboat captains and riverboat captains were seeing sea serpents in the 1800s. I had heard something about this a while ago, never actually looked into it. So I'm going to actually hop into this a little bit, and we're going to uncover a little bit more of this mystery. We have, in the 1870s, the Ohio River became the site of multiple strange creature sightings. On January 10th, 1878, Captain John Davidson, master of the Silver Moon steamboat, wrote to the Cincinnati Enquirer about witnessing a river monster, describing it with a pelican-like beak, slimy mane, and a serpentine body. His account closely matched earlier reports of a river monster. The next day, January 11th, this is one of the most famous sightings here. January 11th, 1878, Ben Karrick, driving his horse-drawn wagon over the Rebling Suspension Bridge, saw a massive sea serpent in the river. He described, here's a cool little drawing, actually, I want to show you guys before we go on. This is from the Cincinnati Gazette, February 8th, 1880. This image was extracted from microfilm by Greg Hand. Greg, appreciate you. And yeah, this article is by Greg Hand as well. There's your sea serpent, guys. Ben Karrick driving his horse-drawn wagon. He saw a massive sea serpent in the river. He described its head protruding 12 to 15 feet above the water with a glassy black substance covering its neck, an alligator-like hide farther down. Karrick also heard noises resembling the lowing of a cow and a hissing sound as the creature moved toward the shore before disappearing. Later, a letter in the Cincinnati Gazette speculated that Karrick's sighting was related to a legendary serpent that had escaped from Hartman Mill Dam years earlier. This creature, reportedly 15 to 20 feet long, was never seen again. Now, there was a more recent sighting in 1955 when Mrs. Naomi Johnson, swimming in the Ohio River between Henderson, Kentucky, and Evansville, felt something large with rubbery claws grab her leg, pulling her underwater. After struggling to break free, she managed to escape with bruises and a strange greenish stain on her leg. This encounter, along with stories of large catfish in the river, raises the questions of what were these strange creatures. Some speculate that Mrs. Johnson's encounter may have been influenced by the popular film The Creature from the Black Lagoon, baby. That's a classic. That is a classic, y'all. I remember watching that on like TCM, Turner Classic Movies, way back in the day. So, you know, these sightings, and one thing Mr. E said I thought was super fascinating was the connection with Serpent Mound. These things were reported to have horns. And anybody that watches our show, of course, everything always connects back to Serpent Mound, right, guys? So here's another one. Mr. E believes that the Serpent Mound used to be called the Great Horned Serpent at one time. There were actually two mounds right behind the ears of the serpent. They're still there. You can barely see them. If you've seen any Jeffrey Wilson's LiDAR scans, you can clearly see those mounds. Those mounds form what appear to be horns. So these horned sea serpents down in the Ohio River Valley, you take that from the Ohio River, you have Portsmouth, which goes right up to the Scioto River and branches through all these river systems. And so Portsmouth, Marietta, all of these places down by the Ohio River had tons of super advanced earthworks and mound structures. I think he's really onto something here. You know, maybe the serpent design was inspired by these giant horned serpents seen in the Ohio River. If the ancient Native Americans of Ohio were traveling up and down the Scioto, down to the Ohio River, and navigating all of these regions through Kentucky and in West Virginia, you know, these sightings have continued on. And who knows, maybe before all the river boats, these great horned serpents were an actual creature that existed and maybe became extinct because of all the heavy population of Cincinnati. So Cincinnati, for those of you that don't know, the Queen City was a huge hub for trade, had a massive economy in all through the 1700s and 1800s, and was a destination through traveling from all the way from Michigan down to the Ohio, all the way to the Mississippi River, all the way to St. Louis. And so who knows? Maybe there's a connection there. I think he might be onto something. But there you go, guys. Great horned serpents in the Ohio River. Wow. You know, wasn't expecting to learn that one. But of course, Mr. E blew me and Anthony Cousins' mind with that one. What a guy. We've got an article. We're going to hop into this one. We're not going to waste any time. It was great seeing Tobias Wayland from Singular Fortean. Him and Ashley Hilt do a podcast together. You guys should go check that out as well. But we've got a witness reports sighting of Owlman in Rolling Meadows, Illinois. This is just pretty recently, February 21st, 2025. And so Lon Stricker of Phantoms and Monsters recently received a report. Let me push this over here just a little bit. And so Tobias has been drawing a lot of attention with his appearance on The Mothman Revisited on Unsolved Mysteries. So there's a lot of folks that have been reaching out. They see this episode and they just absolutely have to report something that maybe they see a couple years ago, maybe it's 3 years ago, but they just don't think anything of it. And then boom, they see an episode of Unsolved Mysteries with our boy Tobias, and it clicks. And this particular story goes back to June of 2022. Spurred this memory on and decided he wanted to report it after seeing Unsolved Mysteries, Tobias on Unsolved Mysteries. So the breakdown of this is a couple saw a large winged creature land on the road in Rolling Meadows, Illinois. The creature was dark with wings larger than an SUV and human-like legs. With the car's brights were shown on it, it quickly flew up into the trees and disappeared. The couple described the creature as an owl man, 4 to 5 feet tall, with wings taller than its body. Now, this isn't the giant owl that Burton Moran, shout out to Burton if you're in the chat. This isn't a giant owl. This is an owl man. And I think the connection with the Lake Huron Mothman and the owl man is maybe people are seeing the same creature. Maybe the Mothman and the owl man potentially could be the same being, creature, interdimensional being. Who knows what it is? I love to speculate. I think these creatures, like Keel says, and Bub talks about all the time, is these windows of time in the fabric of the universe where these portals can open up. Maybe it has something to do with the alignment of stars and the planets, and these windows open up where these creatures pop in and out of existence. Maybe the owl man, maybe the Mothman. Hey, maybe they're long distance cousins. I don't know, but man, is it fun to think about a 5-foot tall owl creature? Come on now. The witness initially denied what they saw, but now believes it was real after reading about similar sightings in the area. That is very common these days. A lot of people just kind of shrug it off. You know what? I was crazy. I was didn't have enough sleep. Maybe I was hitting the booze a little bit, a little bit of toke, and they just brush it off until they get on the internet and they find out that, holy crap, other people have had this experience. This is very similar to the thing that I've seen or this person's seen. So they share their experience in hopes that others will too in this area of Illinois. These sightings seem to be picking up. Other people having similar encounters, hit up Tobias Wayland. He seems to be the nexus of all the strange that has to do with this Illinois Mothman, Owlman creature. Mr. Strickler added that the witness had said she would call him soon, although communication via email has provided him with enough to make a full report of the incident. So there you go, guys. The Owlman of Meadows, Illinois. I mean, Tobias has got this website. It's so great. He really keeps up to it, and I really got a chance to kind of pick his brain about how he is able to go out and research, and when he gets a story, he's up right away. Could be in the middle of the night. If he gets messaged about an incident or some kind of report, he's on there writing up his report. He's not wasting any time. This is super important to Tobias, and shout out to his wife Emily Wayland as well. She's a graphic designer and helps keep all of this the Singular Fortean Society moving forward. Shout out to both of them. It was a great time connecting with both of them at Frogman Fest. And so what do we got here, guys? What do we got here? What else we got here? Who we got in the chat? What are you guys talking about in here? Yes. The chat is alive tonight. We still have one person hanging out on Instagram. You need to come over because I'm about to hit stop stream on this Instagram stream, y'all. So you definitely should come over to YouTube, hit the link in bio, and let's do it. What else is going on, guys? What else is going on? I know a lot of you guys are looking forward to the spring and the summer. We do have the spring equinox event with the Serpent Mountain Star Knowledge, Thomas Johnson and Terry Rivera have every single spring. If you guys are looking to go to that, I'm hopefully going to be there on Saturday. I know we're looking to do a meetup, and yes, you will be there, Heather. We're hoping to get as many people out there as possible. I know they are doing a live stream as well. Lisa, one of Terry's, she's one of Terry's go-getters over the years. She's been working the booth when you walk up and handling the tickets, and she's an amazing human being. But I think it's $44 for all 3 days, so I'm going to pop in and check up on their live stream, make sure everything's going smooth. And our hope is to have the Strange Crew out there eventually to do a full 3-day live stream. With our schedule and everything, we just got to plan it out ahead of time. So if you guys are interested in going to the Spring Equinox, go to House of Fake Ops. Sorry, I better actually look that up real quick. I think it's anybody in the chat? Fake Cops. There we go. Here we go. Sorry. AlternateUniverseRockShop.com, guys. Let me just pull that up here. Alternate Universe Rockshop.com. And there's your buddy Tom. Let me cut real quick. There we go. And then we've got our events, and we've got the Serpent Mountain Star Knowledge Spring Equinox Peace Summit Star Ancestors Gathering. It's March 21st to March 23rd, and that's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, guys. And that's going to be at Woodland Altars, 33200 State Route 41, Peebles, Ohio. There's the old LiDAR, some kind of a scan there of the crater. You can see, I don't know if you guys ever knew this, but Woodlands Altars is in perfect alignment with Serpent Mound, and there's actually a fault line right here that there's 2 fault lines, and this is kind of, I think, the highway of all the high strangeness of the crater area. Personally, I think there's a massive connection with that. So Woodland Altars is really just a magical place. I would love to hold an event, a Strange Road event there. They just got new owners, so I've talked to the person that runs it here not too long ago and kind of just put myself out there. But there you go, Woodland Altars, the Spring Equinox event. You can get tickets right from this website. Barham Walker, that we've got a grandmother, Rachel Page, and we've got so many indigenous elders. And look at that. Our buddy Bill Homan's going to be there. Man, if you guys have never been to one of Bill Homan's Crystal Skull meditations, they take, 5 to 6 crystal bowls, and they resonate these things. And they do a meditation with the Mitchell Hedges Crystal Skull. The Mitchell Hedges Crystal Skull will be there. And it just really gets you in this frame of mind where you're locked in, you're tuned in. And if you have an intention and you push out that intention during one of these meditations, you would be surprised how incredible whatever happens. Oh, I left my bug on there. Why didn't you guys tell me? Mikey, you're blowing it. So there you go. Bill Homan. We've got, Nikki Zephyr. Nikki is the daughter of Chief Golden Light Eagle. Chief passed away a few years ago. Incredible human being. I was lucky enough to meet him on several occasions. We filmed with him and live streamed an event with him during COVID. And I know it's people in this group are still, very saddened, but his spirit lives on through these events. Incredible stuff. And of course, you've got Thomas Johnson doing a talk on sacred geology and the vortex of the Serpent Mound crater. So there you go, guys. I just wanted to pop that up there. And I know some of you guys are going, who we got in here? Helen, how are you? Who else we got? Stoner's dad, shout out. I don't know how long you've been in the stream, But I do want to give you a quick shout out now that you're here, Stoner's dad. I know that I know that we've got the the staff of destiny. One more time, look at that. Much love. Shield our Jaguar purchased this last year in intention of giving it to his father. His father pops up. I see the staff. We got to talk to them for about 30 to 20 minutes. So shout out to Stoner's dad. Incredible. Could not believe we ran into this gentleman again. Unbelievable. So I wanted to just follow up, guys, on what's going on with the drone activity in Mercer County. And believe it or not, it is still happening. It's still going on. And, I don't want to blow up anybody's name, but the Facebook group that I was a part of, and we were people back home in Mercer County and Darke County were posting. It was just changed their name. So the new name for that Facebook group, if you guys are interested in seeing these reports, literally last night there was a report of several drones flying above farmhouses. And one of the contacts that I interviewed told me via the Facebook group that he had 4 flying over his house again just last week. And that new Facebook group is called Citizens for UAP Transparency of Northeast Indiana and Northwest Ohio. So there you go, guys. So the Mercer County Outlook is a little publication, and this isn't super old. This is February 17th, a few weeks ago. My contacts on the ground, the folks that I was interviewing and hanging out with during that time, keeping in contact with them, understanding that this has not stopped. Not only that, but the bird flu is still ripping through these places. Now, it's ridiculous because if 1 or 2 birds gets infected, the entire flock must be euthanized. So they're not able to pull the infected birds out and quarantine them and separate them from the herd. They kill the whole flock. Some of these guys have 1 million birds. Some of them are 500,000 birds in one farm. So some of the largest egg producing 1 and 2 Darke and Mercer County for egg production. And, watching Trump last night give his speech to the Senate or to the Congress. And, one thing that he mentioned was finally the bird flu. He didn't mention the bird flu. I take that back. He mentioned egg production and the price of eggs and kind of blamed it on Biden. I think there's a lot you could probably blame on Biden, but this one, it's so strange that the federal government still has not come out and talked about the bird flu. That the reason why all of the prices of eggs have skyrocketed is because of bird flu ripping through this country. And the largest egg producing county, 2 counties, Mercer and Darke County. I mean, you're talking some of these farms, we're talking 20 million birds now, guys. Over 20 million birds have been euthanized. The price of eggs are what they are because of this. Nobody in the federal government. So you have Representative Angie King. Let me flip over to my notes here real quick. Representative Angie King, she recently posted on social media in response to her questions from Ohio Senator Bernie Moreno, who's a new senator, and her district is, the area of Mercer County, and the recent reports of numerous drone sightings in late January in her district. So I'm actually going to pull up, and Sheriff Doug Timmerman had to come out once again, and a quote from him: the sheriff's office will continue to investigate and work with the federal agencies in an effort to try and identify the owners and operators of these drones. Sheriff Timmerman is not getting any answers. He's not getting any help from anybody. And so in this article, they talk about the rumors that are flying that the drones brought the bird flu. I mean, if you don't have anybody talking about this or any, the USDA apparently blamed it on PETA, and we're telling the farmers, the USDA is telling the farmers that they're PETA's drones, which is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, these things are the size of picnic tables. Some of them are the size of hot tubs, propane tanks, enormous drones. And so you have all these folks that are starting to connect and speculate that the drones brought in this bird flu. I mean, it's hard to not put that together. And so, the sightings coincide with avian bird flu breakout. And this was late January 2025. The timing was impeccable. It's really strange. Rumors start spreading. There's no evidence, of course, to support these claims, but you have all the farmers that are dead set on this connection with the drones and the bird flu. They're saying, what else could it possibly be? So the rising egg costs, which we talked about, local officials have been unable to obtain details. The surge in egg prices continues to skyrocket, and the government's response, the U.S. Department of Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins has pledged to take major action to address the rising egg prices. Well, you better come to Mercer and Darke County, Ohio, and get rid of these drones, because the bird flu is still ripping, and there are still sightings of drones everywhere. Drones, UAPs, I don't know what to call them, but nobody seems to know who's flying these things. Is it bad actors within our own government? Is it bad actors from foreign governments? Who knows? We can only speculate because nobody is saying a damn thing about it. It's really, really a shame. But we're going to take a look at this real quick. Angie King posted on X. Over the last month, I've spoken to numerous individuals who have witnessed drones hovering over their properties, their poultry barns, and in their community without any explanation of who or why they are there. So Mr. Bernie Moreno wrote a letter to Sean Duffy and Kristi Noem. Sean Duffy is the Secretary of Transportation. Kristi Noem is the Secretary of Homeland Security. I mean, these are top-level federal agents here. It says, Dear Secretaries Duffy and Noem, congratulations on your respective confirmations. I look forward to working with you to enact President Trump's policy agenda and stand ready to assist in whatever way possible. Recently, significant numbers of Ohioans, specifically Mercer, Darke, and Van Wert counties, have alerted my office to alarming numbers of drone sightings that have occupied airspace over their properties. Equally concerning is the lack of clarity from federal authorities about what might be prompting these sightings. These constituents, which include local sheriffs, contacted the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, to request information and assistance with this dramatic increase in drone presence. Unfortunately, they have yet to receive a satisfactory response. In some cases, my constituents noted that the drones were the size of picnic tables or hot tubs and flying as low as 100 feet at speeds of up to 80 miles an hour. State and local law enforcement need assistance from your agencies to help address these pervasive drones. Ohioans have a right to be concerned. Even worse, December 2024, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, an incredibly important base, was forced to close airspace for about 4 hours because of drone sightings. Please respond with the answers to the following questions within 7 business days of receipt of this letter. Get after it, Mr. Bernie Moreno. How can your agencies assist the state and local law enforcement with identifying whether a drone is approved to fly over airspace and by which federal agency? Will you commit to informing state and local law enforcement when your agencies authorize the presence of drones in their airspace prior to their entry into the airspace? Please. These people are really hurting over here. I don't really know if anything's ever going to get figured out. I mean, we're going on, we're over a month since Little Comb and I were driving around trying to capture these things on video, which I don't know, by the way, if I ended that stream the Mercer County Drones episode, I ended that stream and I forgot to show the footage that me and Lil Comb caught. So if you go back to the end of that Strange Happenings and you guys left the live stream, at the end there's several really creepy weird videos. There's one really creepy weird video that you guys should check out. So we actually Stoner stayed live, and I came back and sat down, and then we showed some of the evidence that Lil Comb and I captured. So you guys should go check that out if you were one of the folks that left that stream early. But that was all my bad. Just a real dumb thing. Who else we got down here? Gator Gill, what's happening? Welcome, Gator Gill. We've got Julie Sess. We've got Helen. We've got Born Not to Run. We've got, you guys are rocking. Chat's rocking and rolling. Big shout out to you. Gator Gill, that's a new name in there. So USDA says it's, let me pull this over here so I can see this. What you got, Gator Gill? So all one saying says USDA says it's accidentally fired officials working on bird flu and is now trying to rehire them in the agricultural department. That's a good point. All one saying, they I mean, it's really wild. Hey, Brad Stuckey's in the house too. I didn't even see that. What's up, brother? And you're welcome, Stoner's dad. But yeah, all these departments are still being appointed. I think we're getting through most of them now. But yeah, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, when that statement about PETA was made, there wasn't even anybody at the helm of the USDA. So, are we going to get this together? Who knows? But, I really, really feel terrible for all the farmers. And I know a lot of these guys. I know a lot of these guys in Mercer County and Darke County, these farmers. We were back home for a bachelor party. Unbelievable time, my buddy's bachelor. And I got to kind of revisit. A lot of folks from the area had seen the live stream. It was one of the most popular streams we had done to date. And I got to have more conversations with, a lot more people. And they're all just stunned. They're all just shocked. And none of these people were ever conspiracy theorists or into the woo-woo or into the strange or into the weird. But boy, are their eyes being opened now with this occurrence. So people that I would have never expected to have conversations about, UAPs or drones or, anything to that nature. I've been having more and more conversations. So I think that the energy is moving in the right direction when it comes to open-mindedness and being able to, talk about these things without being ridiculed. And I think it's happening. I think 2024 was wild. 2025 has not disappointed. I just, hope that everybody can stay safe and we can continue to get more answers. The Epstein client list was kind of a bit of a disappointment. The JFK files, Kash Patel, I'm not sure what you're doing there, bud. But a lot of the Epstein client list stuff, we've already known that. That's been public record from court hearings of the flight logs and some of those things. So nothing really new there. I would love for you guys to get off your ass and start releasing this stuff. The JFK files, we still haven't really had a whole lot. A lot of stuff is heavily redacted. When that stuff really starts to come out, I want to do a full episode on the JFK assassination, RFK, and MLK. Maybe they're all three separate episodes. I don't know yet. Depends on how much is going to be released. But I feel like, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, let's go. Let's start unwinding this process. I mean, we're over, it's going to be 100 years from the JFK, and we're still not going to know. The only thing that they can say is that there was two shooters. Well, a lot of us in the know and have looked into this for many, many years. It's completely impossible that there weren't two shooters. The magic bullet theory that they proposed in the JFK Commission, the report that was total garbage. Total, I mean, former CIA, Gerald Ford was a part of it. Guys that I think ran the operation were on the JFK Commission and basically blame the whole thing on the lone gunman, the lone nut theory, right? With Lee Harvey Oswald. But if you watch the documentary about the medical doctors that were there on the ground in Dallas, where they were able to do an autopsy. Now, these records, I believe, were destroyed, or the autopsy, the official autopsy that was supposed to take place in this county, because by law, if the person is shot and killed in this particular county in Dallas, Texas, then the county coroner has to make a report. So there's these doctors, and they talk about the direction that these bullets came from. The official report calls it the magic bullet, that a magic bullet went through the neck of JFK, came out the other side, went through the governor's side, and then came back and went through, another hole. They literally call it the magic bullet theory, and it is complete and utter garbage, 100%. And so the magic bullet theory is, with these reports that have come out, is we know now that it is complete fabrication. But people in the 60s didn't buy it then. Nobody bought it then. And that's when the term conspiracy theory was coined. Anybody that questioned the commission, the JFK Commission report, they were seen as loons. But your everyday average American citizen, nobody really thought that Oswald acted alone. Nobody really thought that at all. Here we go. I'm getting all fired up about JFK and MLK and these Epstein reports. It's just unbelievable, guys. Author Ken McCarthy, JFK, RFK versus Extreme Zionism. Good interview on Sabi Saba YouTube channel. Well, check that out. All one same. That's good. Born Not to Run says, I remember watching the Zapruder film in high school. Right. The Zapruder film is super, super interesting because Time Magazine actually owned the Zapruder film, and they bought the rights to it, and they held it in a vault for years and years and years. They had the Senate committee hearings on the assassination. And the Zapruder film was shown to certain members of Congress. And even after that, when it was actually shown, it was still held in private in these vaults for a very long time until Geraldo Rivera came along. Geraldo Rivera did an investigative report and showed the Zapruder film on TV, which is in like the early 80s. So you're talking like 20 some years after this was filmed. Nobody had seen the Zapruder film until the 1980s, and you can say what you want, about Geraldo Rivera and some of the reporting he's done since then, but he was a real badass back in the day. He kind of turned into, well, I'm not going to speculate or judge Geraldo Rivera, but if it wasn't for him and Dick Gregory, the comedian Dick Gregory, he was a massive part. People, think of Dick Gregory, they think of a stand-up comedy legend. Dick Gregory was responsible for waking up thousands and thousands and thousands of people with talks that he gave. This is way pre-internet. And he was a very open, very conscious individual that really blew the lid off a lot of things. And he had a big part to do, Dick Gregory did, with the release of the Zapruder film as well. I don't have anything prepared or stats or anything on JFK. I'm just kind of going from memory, but it's something that I've looked into, more in my early 20s and early 30s and really read as much as I possibly could. I've watched every documentary that I possibly could. There's some good ones recently that have come out. I can post those in the description after the stream if you guys are interested. Yeah, Bill Hicks was another one. Is Bill Hicks Alex Jones? You guys have heard that conspiracy. But yeah, Bill Hicks, what a legend that dude was. Bill Hicks, there wasn't many stand-up comics that were talking about mushrooms and LSD and conspiracies. But, some of the most conscious people, some of the most radical free speech absolutists are stand-up comedians. And they are really the folks that are on the front lines. And we saw that of how many of them got canceled the last, 5 to 6 years, just for speaking out, posting things on social media, getting canceled, getting their shows canceled, whether it's Dave Chappelle, the list goes on and on. But I think that's changing. I think that's moving in the right direction. I think comedians are able to do their job, able to, do what they do now more than ever again, because they are on the front lines of, like you said, Annie, delivering the truth. And if it can make you laugh, it's a great delivery method for truth. If you have people that actually know what they're talking about, it's just it's a great medium. It really is. But man, you guys have been great. I don't even know how long we've been streaming here. We're almost at an hour. Not bad, not bad. Well, I didn't blow it too hard, guys. I didn't screw up the stream too bad. I hope you guys had fun. I know I did. It is kind of weird being down here in Master Control all by my lonesome. Rolo's not even down here. The girls had off school today, so they were, I was at home hanging out with them and then rolled down here for the stream. Nice and quiet, got to prep, got to hang out. But let me know if you guys enjoyed this. You want to see Mikey go solo more often. I thought maybe this would be a cool format, eventually developing some kind of more of a research-based episode. I really would love to do that. Cover the Hollow Earth, the Newark Holy Stones. I keep getting one of those episodes together and then getting sidetracked. So I got to find some time to put this format together to, maybe do some more stuff like this. I like doing Strange Happenings from the desk. It's a lot more fun with Bub out in the studio, but I think there is something to this little setup. But let me know. I appreciate it, Helen. I appreciate it. Thank you all for hanging out. Yes, awesome shirt. Thank you, Heather. Let me just give a shout out once again to Jeff Craig and the Frogman Festival. There's the 2025 Frogman Festival t-shirt. Appreciate that. We all got one. Big shout out to Jeff and all the people that volunteered, all the people that were a part of the Frogman Festival in any way, whether it's the vendors, the speakers, the incredible sponsors, Loveland Magazine. I think I did forget to shout them out. Holly Who Art, obviously Strange Road. We sponsored the AV Room again. And, the fellas at Cryptids of the Corn, Mark Ripper, all you guys, Mopar Phil, Heather, everybody that came out, and anybody that did make it out. We missed you. So, it's great time. Frogman Festival 4 next March. You guys aren't going to want to miss it. We'll see. It feels like it's going to continue to grow and grow. I met some guy that came all the way from Texas. I met a couple people that came all the way from Oklahoma. So people were coming from all over to go to Frogman. I know speakers, Anthony is from DC. The folks that we got to hang out with, the Frogman guys are from, some of them, the crew are from Detroit. Some of those guys are in Minnesota. Anthony, the director's in LA. So it was a huge event. People from all over the place. Frogman Festival 3, 2025. Super success. But yeah, I think I'm going to sign off, everybody. Yeah, it's been a great time. I appreciate the hell out of each and every one of you. Love, peace, and chicken grease. We're out.